I like to know where people stand so I know how to treat you accordingly.
They be trying to do it, I'm just doing me. I be working hard and they just want it free. Let's go. Look at how I'm whipping, so they tripping now. Take away the fake, you see the difference now.
Be competitive with yourself.
So these headphones right here are the Sony's WH-1000XM4. Now, a lot of people know these as the Sony XM4. Here's an overhead view for you. Let me give you a quick history or background on my situation, and hopefully you can see how it relates to yours. So I'm typically not a person who likes to wear over the ear or on the ear headphones unless I'm doing it for some sort of work, like in a studio environment, or I'm in the convenience of my home, or I'm watching movies in a private setting. Basically, I don't walk around with over the ear headphones for just casual purposes, right? So I do have these Beats headphones right here, the Beats Solo Wireless. They're one of the last headphones that I invested in besides earbuds. While I do like these headphones, I still don't love the headphones. They're great for just listening. They're great for using them, but they suck for phone calls unless you have it wired. And as soon as you have to wire it, to me, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So right as of now, I let people in my household use them, and I really don't use them at all. And as far as sound quality, they're fine. As far as battery life and connectivity, they're fine. Now, they do only connect to one device at a time. They don't leave one device to the next automatically like my AirPods do, or like these particular Sonys do. So unless you're wearing headphones like these, like I said, I use them for a particular purpose. So this is not for the tech people or anything. This is just for regular people out there who may be interested in upgrading what you use as far as noise cancellation, as far as I don't know, just enjoying your headphones, basically, right? Whether it be indoors, outdoors, wherever you may choose. I'm just giving you a background on how I think about headphones and how these particular headphones may or may not serve my purpose. But follow me real quick. You see how big this headband is? That is personally a little bit too big for me. I don't really prefer that. These are a little more slim. These are from B&H. These are a little more slim. I do like them, but the quality between these two, these are a little bit better. These are neutral and they have adjustments, and these are neutral as well. But I like to use these for when I'm audio editing. But they are not the prettiest headphone that you can buy, right? Now you're probably thinking you're buying it for audio purposes. What is the point of caring what it looks like? Well, for work purposes, I guess you shouldn't care what it looks like. But if they're personal headphones that you use for your personal enjoyment, I think you should actually like how they look. If you buy a jacket and it keeps you warm, that is the purpose of a jacket. But at the same time, when you buy it, you want it to look good on you, right? So it's no different for me in when I buy my headphones that are for personal use, right? So these headphones right here, while I unbox this, I'm just going to go over some things with you that I discovered along the way that are important to me and I felt like would alter or not, or basically give you the decision of why I will like them or not like them, right? So let's get to the unboxing first. Pretty simple. So look at the overhead view. It comes with a case. And that's pretty much it as far as the box. On the box, if you want tech specs, there's a lot of videos out there. I'm pretty sure that have it. For me, I kind of ran across these by accident. I do want headphones, but I kind of wasn't in the market for it until I kind of saw a respected tech reviewer speak highly of them. And when I heard it, it kind of just drew my attention to it. And then for some reason, I just kept hearing more people talking about them and how great these headphones were. And I was like, I have to check them out. So I ended up buying 2 pair. I'll cut to the blue ones. I didn't even get to open it, but I got the Midnight Blue, I believe it's called. But those are going to be a gift, so I can't cut them open on here. And the ones that I got are just the plain black ones. I just want them simple, basically. But on the box, it basically says 360 reality audio, Alexa built-in, Google Assistant, 30-hour battery time, which is pretty impressive. Charging it for like literally a few minutes or so, and you can get like a few hours of usage out of the headphones if you need to hurry up and do it. High resolution audio wireless, has an app that you can download for your Android or your iPhone, right? So with that being said, let me unbox it while I talk about it. This is the case that it comes in. It's pretty flat, sleek, I guess. It doesn't have anything on the strap. So what I did is you just get one of these little cheap clips and clip it. So for me, I need something here because I like to carry this like on my laptop bag or something like that. But let's go ahead and open this up. And you see the little accent is kind of like a different shade of gold or whatever this is. This is what's inside. So right off the bat, if you look at something like these Beat headphones, this is the soft pouch that it came in. But as you can see, you fold it evenly. You just close, and it fits right inside, right? Now, I will say when these are open, you will have to close them and back inside. That's kind of a pet peeve to me. I know it may not be a big deal to other people, but if you're using your headphones constantly throughout the day, you're going to constantly have to, and you do put, because these are little higher priced headphones, I tend to want to use them a lot and put them away because I want to take care of them, right? So because of that, I have to keep adjusting it, closing it, folding it, using them. Every time I use them, I have to readjust it, put it on my head. And I know that's not a deal breaker, but it can be just a little bit annoying, right? So the way that these fit inside is very peculiar because it doesn't fit. Look how it looks. It's not like a traditional, it's not traditional as far as like they both close and they both fold like the Beats like this. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's like it has to be like this or something strange. So inside they have a cutout, like a paper instructions that tells you which ear cup and how to fold it. Now, I don't believe this is meant to stay here, but I'm going to leave it in there because there's already a few times where I forgot how to put the headphones back, which is crazy. Now, inside the box or inside the packaging, you just have your cord. You have a charging cord here, very short. It's like a traditional USB and a USB-C. Currently, I'm just using my, my iPad Pro charger and block, and I just plug it in. It works fine. I believe this is like what is this? So with me, these headphones seem to be a little narrow right here, which I do like, the headband. But when you put them on, they still are bulky. When I checked them out at the store, at first I was thinking, these aren't that bad, but the more I looked at them when I got home and I was checking them out, these are still bulky headphones. So if you're the type of person who doesn't want to walk around in public with bulky headphones on, like me, you probably won't feel 100% comfortable with these because it just looks a little much for me. So that's why I end up using AirPods all the time. And the way I currently use AirPods, I basically have two sets, right? I have the Pro and the original versions. I take one earbud from here and one earbud from here, and I use this for my phone. So when I get phone calls, I can answer the phone. Because these AirPod Pros they switch, so you can hook it to multiple devices, and depending on which one you're using. So just say I'm on the phone with these, and then I go ahead and start playing something from my iPad, and it's already synced to it. It'll automatically play what's on the iPad and forget my phone, and vice versa. The problem with that is if I'm working on a computer, for example, and I'm listening, like monitoring like a video I'm editing, for example, and somebody calls me, it'll switch. The problem is then I stop working. So sometimes if it's a personal call, I like to have one in my ear so I can talk. And then if I can talk in one ear and I'm listening to what I'm editing or whatever it is on the other ear on the computer, so I never stop my workflow. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I end up doing right now. Now, these have a feature where they can switch, and it does it pretty smoothly where you're going from device to device. It's pretty nice, actually. So with that being said, I will say build quality, even though these are plastic and they're probably durable, because some plastics are more durable than some metals. It all depends. So I'm pretty sure there's a reason, whether it be from cost or whatever the case is, weight. There's a reason why they're this type of plastic. It is a matte finish, which I do like because these Beats right here are fingerprint magnets. So I appreciate that part of it. They are very comfortable. I've had them on for almost literally all day. They don't hurt my ears as far as like the pressure up here, or they don't hurt my ears as far as where the ear cups lay. So I don't have no complaints about that. And due to it being lightweight, it doesn't really feel too bad on my head for long periods of time. Now, with that being said, just holding the headphones, if you didn't know, or if I didn't know that these were somewhat expensive headphones and I just picked them up, just off the feel alone, even though it's nice that they're lightweight, it doesn't feel like something that I feel is an expensive item. It just doesn't have the feel of it. Now, with that being said, for example, it's kind of like off subject, but if I was to buy like $1,000 designer belt, even though the packaging has nothing to do with the belt itself, when you pay a premium price, you want premium packaging, you want premium quality materials for the most part, you want a premium experience, right? So with these being somewhat of a premium price tag, I don't feel like the build quality represents the premium price tag. And again, I'm not saying that they're cheap or not good quality. I'm just saying, just from a normal person's perspective, if you pick these up, you're not going to be like, wow, these feel like super high quality. No, I mean, honestly, they just feel like some maybe $50 over the ear headphones. That's what they feel like. There's no real metal in them that you can feel. It's just mainly plastic. There's probably metal inside in the band or something, but that's pretty much how they feel. So with that being said, aside from that, I do enjoy them, right? So a lot of people on the internet were really talking highly of the noise cancellation. They're talking very highly of the sound quality. Now, me being an audio person, I was expecting to hear something like super amazing, right? So I'm not going to lie, I wasn't blown away initially with the sound quality. Now, you can adjust the EQ and all these different settings within the app. It's very easy to do, by the way. They just set up the headphones and link it to the app on your phone. It's super easy, and it tells you step-by-step instructions. And if you're a Sony camera user, you'd probably be very surprised how simple the process was, knowing that how clunky the menus are on those cameras. But it was pretty easy to follow, right? Now, what I notice is that I feel like the best way I can explain it, it feels like the headphones or the drivers or the software with the drivers combined have like a very nice dynamic range, meaning from the low frequency spectrum to the high frequency spectrum is pretty wide. And the reason why, even without knowing the tech specs, I feel like that is what is of quality. So if you listen to the Beats headphones, you'll think that they sound good because they're exaggerated in the low ends or maybe the high end, and it sounds good. But if you sit there and listen to the sound like that, because it's like a customized, EQ'd version of what you're hearing. It's not like a flat neutral response. When you start listening, it's like, imagine having a stereo in your car, right? And you didn't touch the bass or whatever you put the subwoofer in. I mean, you just kept it neutral. That's pretty much a starting point, and the way that you tweak it is your taste. Well, I feel, Beats basically has the way that they tweaked it in the sound and how you hear it. The problem with it is, if you listen to it long periods of time or for long periods of time, you'll get a lot of ear fatigue. At least I do. And I just can't listen to it for long periods of time. The lows are too low, or they just have I don't know, something about it just doesn't sit well with me for long periods of time, or the highs. What I noticed with these, even though I wasn't blown away by the sound, the quality things that I noticed about it is, it doesn't matter what type of music I listen to and how I EQ'd it, boosted the bass. Now, I never turned the bass on anything all the way to the max, and I didn't do it for this just to test it, but I set it up the way that I would personally want to listen to it. And I do like hip-hop music. I like stuff with a lot of bass in it. I like not hip-hop, R&B. I like old school music, maybe even some classical here and there. And it all sounds very good and smooth. Now, the thing that really stuck out to me is that I never got the headphones to feel like they distorted or peaked in any frequency spectrum as far as the highs go or the lows. And it was never distorted, and it never felt harsh to my ears. And the problem you have with a lot of inexpensive headphones is you can't mistake clarity for harshness, right? And you can sometimes, if you're not knowing what you're listening to sometimes, or just a lack of not experience, but being exposed to other higher quality headphones, right? Or audio listening, or not audio, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just higher quality audio, right? Or headphones. So they're not harsh at all in the highs or the lows. It's just smooth. It's the best way I can explain it. And I listened to it literally. I had it on my head for one of the days all day. I fell asleep in it. I didn't wake up with it feeling sore. My ears weren't fatigued or anything. It was great. So with that being said, I would give the sound quality A+. Now, off the bat, if you're used to Beat headphones and you want it to be super thumpy, not saying that you can't make it that way. Maybe I'll give it like an 8 out of 10 if you're expecting something super amazing in that regard. But at the end of the day, I still give it a 10 out of 10 of the potential of it because I can tell its quality as far as what's there. Now, how you EQ it is how you want to personally EQ it, but nothing is harsh that I can tell based on how I set it up for my listening purposes, right? So the cool features that stuck out to me, even though there may or may not be more, is they have a function where you can hold your ear cup. So if someone's talking to you and you want to hold it, it's basically going to... So if you know anything about noise canceling headphones, the first time I ever had it was with these AirPods, right? These AirPod Pros. When I first experienced how noise canceling works, I was like, I'm not going to lie, it was kind of amazing to me. I was like, I feel like if you never experienced it, you'll probably feel the same way. It just feels like it just separates you from the rest of the world out there. And it's kind of cool, actually, right? And the advantage, so coming from these, having that experience, even though a lot of people talk highly of these, I didn't really have a wow factor about it. I didn't feel like coming from these, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is like a total difference. I didn't really feel that. I was just like, oh, it's noise cancels like my AirPods. That's kind of how I felt. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying one is better than the other. It just wasn't that different to me personally where it stuck out that much. Now, these are two different types of listening purposes or devices, I would say. But the reason why I probably didn't notice that big of a difference is these go inside your ear and they have a much better grip to block out ambient noises and stuff like that. These are over the ear or maybe on the ear style headphones. It all depends on the shape of your ear and how they sit on your ear. So I have a little bit larger ears. So to me, I feel like there may be some air gaps around my ear where sound could have came out and it wasn't a tight fit. Even though there are things on the app that allows you to go ahead and make certain adjustments, for me, I just was never super blown away by the noise cancellation. It is good, but like I said, it wasn't so great to me coming from these that I felt like these were trash in comparison. It was just something similar. So with that being said, I don't know what you used before. If you never used noise canceling anything, you might really like it. They have an ambient feature, which these also have. So that wasn't new to me either. It's basically where you have headphones over your ears and it's hard to hear what's going on around you. So this has different thresholds, though, that you can set, unlike Apple AirPods, where you can kind of hear more of the background or a little less. You can kind of like change the amount. And there's also a function where you can hit it to hear more of your voice and drown out more of the background. So when you have the headphones on and you're having a conversation with somebody, it kind of boosts your voice to be able to hear it even push further than the ambient noise that's generally around. It focuses on your voice more. Now, I have it set up where if somebody starts talking to me, I start talking, it pauses my music, and it brings that up automatically so I can hear myself talking without removing my headphones. I think that's really cool, but I noticed that I'm always generally around a lot of people, and I generally have to keep stopping what I'm doing. And it kind of gets annoying that every time I talk, it stops, and I can hear you. But the problem is the lowest setting, if I recall, it takes like 15 seconds for it to click back on. So somebody just said, hey, you thirsty? And I say, hey, yeah, can I get some water real quick? Then everything stops, but then you got to wait literally for 15 seconds for your song to click back on. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is when you got to keep stopping over and over, and it takes forever for the music to come back on. At least that's what it feels like. When you watch a YouTube ad in the beginning and it's a 10-second ad, even though 10 seconds doesn't seem long, when you're trying to get to the video, 10 seconds seems forever. You know what I'm saying, right? Well, that's how I feel when I'm trying to get back to my music. So I'm going to turn that feature off now after actually using it in the real world in my experiences, because I realize it's just kind of annoying. So I'm going to just rather hold my head up, my hand to my ear, because it's kind of instant. And as soon as you let go, it plays right away. You know what I'm saying? And the other one is an adaptive noise canceling or something like that, where you can basically make the different settings, or it can track where you go. It tries to learn where you go in different environments, and it'll start making adjustments for you. So earlier I said that you can adjust the threshold of how much ambient noise to noise cancellation that you hear. So based on if you're around like sitting still, it'll know that you're sitting still. and it'll turn the noise cancellation on to the max. It'll know when you're moving and you're mobile and you're on a bus or something like that, or you're amongst some noise in the background. It'll adjust it slightly here and there. Now, the problem I have with that and using it in my experiences is that, well, first of all, there's a chime every time it changes the function. You hear it. Now, you can turn that off, which I found out after the fact. The problem is that even without the chime, the alert or whatever you want to call it, you can still tell. It's not that the sound that you're hearing through your headphones as far as music changes, but the amount of noise, not noise, what is it called? I can't even think of the word now for some reason. My mind just went blank. Noise canceling, man. The amount of noise canceling, remember I told you it's a threshold. It's like low to a little bit higher. You can kind of naturally tell that it's changing depending on where you're going. And I don't really like that personally. Now, that may be different for you or other people who have these headphones, but I noticed it, and it's kind of annoying to me that it constantly changes. Now, if you're always in certain places, maybe that won't be as bad for you. But for me, I'm always around people, not around people, and I'm moving pretty quickly in my environments where it's a little bit too much for me. It's kind of more annoying than anything. I just want you to see how it affected me and how it may or may not affect you, and you can make your own decision. I just want to share my experiences with what I purchased or invested in. So they have this thing called 360 reality audio. I wasn't able to actually set that up because it's only with certain paid subscriptions, and Tidal is one of them, and I don't remember the rest of them, but I don't have a subscription to Tidal. I already have like Apple Music and something else and Amazon Music. I don't want to have so many services just to hear what that sounds like, but I believe it's some kind of spatial thing where you can hear everything separated in its own space or whatever. I don't know. I heard it sounds cool. I just didn't get to experience it, but it's not something I'm really that interested in at this point since it's not a widespread thing. And it's something I wouldn't have bought the headphones for just for that purpose, right? So as far as Alexa built in, when I first set it up, it did ask me if I wanted to use it for something else, and I just opted out at the moment. I just wanted to see how the headphones function without all those super extra bells and whistles that had nothing to do with the headphones listening, as far as listening to music and stuff like that. Those are just cool communication features, I guess, that you can trigger to, I guess, play music off of those like Alexa or something. I guess. I'm not even sure. It's something that really didn't interest me. One thing that's interesting is, though, they have something called DSEE Extreme. And that scene, I don't know how well it works, but I turned it on automatic, and which is the only function that it gave me or option. And it's supposed to have, when you have really compressed music. So I know like Pandora has lower quality streaming music. Sometimes it all depends on how you have it set up. But I guess it ups the bit rate or something like that, where it can kind of make the sound a little bit better. It like uncompresses it somehow or something like that, where you have a really compressed signal. It kind of tries to make the quality better, basically, in layman's terms, right? So I would say my favorite feature, though, and this sounds super simple, but my favorite feature is actually the side. Now, my AirPods, right? When you put these in your ear, if I want to, you got to click on something. So I like hard tactile keys sometimes. You can click on it and you can feel it. To hang up and stuff, you click it. My other AirPods, you have to tap it. And the thing of it is, if you know things that cover your ear, when you touch even like this, it hurts my ear because you hear all the vibration just from tapping, right? I don't really like that part of it. But one thing I wish these had was the ability to turn my stuff up and down by just swiping your finger. I always joke to myself or to other people about, man, that would be cool if I could just adjust the volume without saying the word Siri and this and Siri that to do simple things like that, right? Because it can do it, I believe, but it's just such a pain to keep saying that when there's so many times that you may have to have the volume adjusted, right? These actually have something like that in it. Before I forget, there is like a little sensor in here. So if you take the headphones off, you can have it pause the music, or if you leave it off for long periods of time, it'll power the headphones off. So you don't got to worry about accidentally leaving them on. Now, so about the touch feature, the only thing I don't like is the pause. You have to tap like this. And again, I told you, when you have your ears covered and you tap anything like this, it's going to sound very loud as far as vibration is concerned. I wish they just had like a soft button up here that you could just touch, like a touch button, not tap button. I don't really like that. Just touch it one time. I didn't read the instructions, but all I know is it didn't work until I double tap, which is tapping. Instead of just touching it, I had to do this. I don't know. So other than that, the swiping is really dope. So If I want the volume to go up, all I do is just swipe up, swipe up, swipe up like this, or swipe down. So when I'm wearing them, I just go like this, like this. If I want to fast forward, I just go like this. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, if I want to go to the next song, I just swipe forward like this. If I want to like rewind to the previous song, I go like this. You know how most headphones, you got to do like the double tap. My bad, I went over my recording limit. But most headphones, you got to like double tap to rewind and quadruple tap or triple tap to go forward. It's like kind of confusing sometimes. You're just sitting there tapping away, right? So this is so convenient because if you just want to go to the next song, you just swipe forward, rewind. Go to the previous song, go this way, go up for the volume, down for the volume down. And if you want to fast forward, you put your finger on it and swipe forward and hold it, and it'll fast forward. You want to do rewind, it's the same thing, but you touch it and go back and just hold your finger on it, which is really dope. So basically, just to show you really quickly, so if I was rewinding, I would just go like this and hold it. Fast forward, hold it. Up, volume down. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really dope. This is how they look. Again, this is the side profile. They are a bit big. Like I said, these are a little big for my preference. I feel a little goofy wearing something this big walking around. But honestly, I think I'm probably, I might try it out a little bit. It all depends. I'm not going to walk in a mall with these on my head. But if I was like, I don't know, somewhere else, I probably would do it. One great thing about these compared to these Beats that I have is that you actually can talk on it. Because they have, I guess, the quality of mics and how many mics and the placements and all that stuff that they have around it. You can actually make phone calls and people can hear you pretty well without having a wire and just keeping this just like this. That's really dope because on my Beats, they can't hear me at all. I can hear them fine, but they can't hear me because the mic is like one little thing right here and it doesn't help block the noise around or anything. They can't hear me. All they hear is everything else but me. So, with that being said, I think if you're on the fence about buying these, if you can find them on sale, especially, these headphones are not that old as far as I know. I feel like they came out within maybe 6 months or so. I could be totally wrong, but that's my information as far as what I know. So I don't believe if you find them on sale, the reason is because they're coming out with a new model. I believe it's strictly because holiday season. So if that's the case and you're already on the fence about them, I suggest if you can, I know it's tough for a lot of people out there right now, but for some reason, if you can and it fits in your budget, I think you should try it out. And if you have nothing to lose, basically, because they have extended return periods right now, and if it doesn't fit what you were looking for or what you want, just return it and experience it first. You know what I mean? Buy it from a reputable place that you know everything is good. It even says on the box, says HD voice and stuff like that. 30 hour quick charge, 10-minute quick charge to play up to 5 hours, music playback, max 30 hours, and I believe it's 20 without the, with the noise cancellation. I'm just reading stuff. Voice assist functions. Has a shortcut on here also. That weird plug, that was for flight use. I guess when you're on an airplane or whatever. What is it? Headphone cable, the USB-C short. Yeah, so... But you have a shortcut button on here. It says you can add Siri and other services on it, but I have it set up where I can change the noise cancellation off to have the ambient on where you can hear noise around you, or to just have it off completely. Make sure you do everything at your top level. And remember, you're no competition with anyone except yourself. So make sure your next move is your best move, or at least your better move. Until next time.